Coming up on Valley View News, a fire rips through an Anaheim apartment complex. Dozens are without a home, 4 are recovering from injuries. Plus, former FBI Director James Comey speaks in his first interview since being fired, what he's saying about his time with President Trump. And doing their part to make LA cleaner, hundreds took to the Sepulveda Basin to clean up trash as a part of Earth Month.
Hello, and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Corinne Hafuda.
And I'm Cameron Parrish.
80 people are displaced after a fire tore through an Anaheim apartment complex. 3 adults and 1 child are also recovering from minor smoke inhalation. This happened near the intersection of Rio Vista Street and Lincoln Avenue on the evening of Saturday the 14th. It took nearly 100 firefighters about 2 hours to put out the 4-alarm fire. 22 apartment units were damaged. The Red Cross stepped in to help the victims. The cause is still under investigation.
A 28-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of murder in connection with a fire that ripped through the top-notch recording studio last Saturday. 2 people inside the Studio City building died. 2 others were critically injured. The suspect was picked up Saturday night after the blaze started. The recording studio is located on Cahuenga Boulevard. Some who work in the building say they've expressed safety concerns in the past. Officials say the cause is still under investigation.
Police are still looking for a carjacking suspect after a chase Monday morning. Another suspect was caught by police and is in custody. The pursuit started about 5 a.m. Monday morning in Oxnard. It ended in Reseda near the intersection of Roscoe and White Oak. At one point, the suspect was seen driving against traffic. There were no reported injuries in the pursuit.
Rescuers found the wrecked car of a missing Valencia family of 4. They had been searching for the family since they went missing April 5th. The family's vehicle was found submerged in a Northern California river after heavy rain swept through the area. Rescuers think the family tried to pull over near the edge of the river but didn't come to a complete stop. The bodies of 42-year-old Sandeep Thottapilli and 9-year-old Sashi Thottapilli were found in the vehicle 6 feet underwater. Last week, the body of 38-year-old Sumaya Thottapilli was found 7 miles north of the crash site. The family was traveling to a friend's home in San Jose but never showed up. The search still continues for the 4th family member, 12-year-old Siddhant Thottapilli.
The Thunderbirds pilot, killed in a crash last month, was laid to rest this past weekend in Saugus. Valencia native Major Stefan Del Bagno died April 4th. He was performing what the Air Force called a routine aerial demonstration training flight in Nevada. Del Bagno was 34 years old. The memorial service was at Saugus High School, his alma mater. It included a 21-gun salute and a flyover. The Thunderbirds canceled their appearance at last weekend's Riverside Air Show.
The feud between President Trump and the FBI director he fired, James Comey, got heated. Comey sat down with ABC's George Stephanopoulos last Sunday night. He spoke of his concerns with Trump. Valley View News reporter Heather Harbin gives us a recap.
I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
Former FBI Director James Comey opening up exclusively to ABC News in his first interview since being fired by President Trump last May. He criticized Trump's character, calling him unfit for office.
A person who sees moral equivalence in Charlottesville, who talks about and treats women like they're pieces of meat, who lies constantly about matters big and small and insists the American people believe it, that person's not fit to be president of the United States on moral grounds.
Comey revealed he thinks the president may be vulnerable to Russian blackmail.
It always struck me and still strikes me as unlikely, and I would have been able to say with high confidence about any other president I dealt with, but I can't. It's possible.
He also reflected on the February meeting when Trump apparently asked Comey to drop the investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Trump denies he made the request, but Comey thinks it bears weight in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation.
Was President Trump obstructing justice?
Possibly. I mean, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice.
What will it mean if President Trump tries to fire Robert Mueller?
It would, I hope, set off alarm bells that this is his most serious attack yet on the rule of law.
Trump not staying silent about Comey's accusations either. He sounded off in tweets all weekend, calling Comey slippery, not smart, and a slimeball. But when asked whether Trump should be impeached,
I hope not. Because I think impeaching and removing Donald Trump from office would let the American people off the hook. People in this country need to stand up and go to the voting booth and vote their values. And so impeachment, in a way, would short-circuit that.
That was Valley View's Heather Harbin reporting. Comey also defended his controversial decision to inform Congress just days before Election Day that he was reopening the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
The U.S., France, and Britain launched airstrikes in Syria after some chemical weapons attacks on civilians.
Valley View News reporter Marissa Martinez has the latest in the Digital Media Center. Marissa?
Thank you. These are not the actions of a man. They are the crimes of a monster. Those strong words from President Trump, speaking about Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Last week, a suspected chemical weapons attack in Syria killed more than 60 people and injured thousands. The Syrian government and its main ally, Russia, denied using chemical weapons, but Assad's forces are believed to be behind it. The U.S., UK, and France launched successful strikes in Syria last week. Trump said the U.S. will strike again if the Syrian regime uses prohibited chemical agents again. 2 of the 3 airstrikes hit the city of Homs in the capital of Damascus. Top administration officials supported President Trump's action in Syria. Vice President Mike Pence said the strikes degraded and crippled Syria's chemical weapons capabilities.
The President and I couldn't be more proud. And I think the President's expressions this morning were a strong affirmation that the mission that he gave our military to go in and destroy key elements of the chemical weapons infrastructure in Syria was completely and professionally and swiftly accomplished.
And UN Ambassador Nikki Haley said the U.S. will keep pressure on Syria.
We, of course, know that our work in Syria is not done. We know that it is now up to Bashar al-Assad on whether he's going to use chemical weapons again. And should he use it again, the president has made it very clear that the United States is locked and loaded and ready to go.
U.S. officials say they want to make it clear to Assad that his use of chemical weapons must come to a stop. While the president says he's satisfied with the Syrian strikes, some citizens think otherwise. People nationwide held protests against the airstrikes. There were demonstrations in Detroit, Portland, Los Angeles, and a few other cities. Protesters don't want the U.S. and its allies to launch any more missile attacks. They're also demanding that the U.S. bring home all troops right away. Many protesters voiced concern that the president wants to start another war in the Middle East. Russia is also accused of being part of the Syrian chemical attack. Russia reportedly sent 2 naval warships carrying tanks and equipment to Syria. The United States says it will impose new sanctions against Russia for their alleged involvement. Live in the Digital Media Center, I'm Marissa Martinez for Valley View News.
Thanks, Marissa. CSUN has a new Associated Students president. Valley View News reporter Lauren Turner-Dunn sat down with her to talk about what she has planned for students.
I don't want to promise things that I know cannot happen, but I do want to hear what's going on and give it to administration and see what we can do.
Beverly Ntagu was elected CSUN's Associated Students president. The 4th-year student explained her duties as president for the 2018 to 2019 school year.
We will basically be implementing things and or not changing, I would say, but modifying whatever has been going on in AS in the past.
Associated Students, also known as AS, represents the student body. Beverly and her vice president say they want to be outside of the office, interacting with students.
We're students too. Like we're here doing the same thing you're doing. So how can we help you? How can we connect with you?
With only 5 days to campaign, she and her vice president got more than 2,000 votes. Under the Matador movement slate, she campaigned for diversity and inclusion with student engagement and involvement.
I want students to feel like this school is not for a certain type of person. You have to use what you've gone through as a child, as a young adult, as a teenager, and use your experiences to build you up because those experiences make you who you are today.
Beverly is Nigerian American, born in Inglewood. While in college, she's faced financial problems. She also dealt with the passing of her father. She is one of 10 women to be elected for AS president. The last time was in 2014.
I'm still kind of in this wow, I won mentality. I'm being progressive, but I'm still like shocked, like, whoa, this is big. This is big not only for me, but for the campus.
Beverly has been very involved in on-campus activities in the past few years. But next year, she plans to only focus on being president, her schoolwork, and her sorority. In Northridge, I'm Lauren Turner-Dunn for Valley View News.
Health concerns associated with homelessness have also forced politicians to take a harder look at the problem. Recently, a homeless encampment in Santa Ana caused public outrage. Officials didn't know where to move the homeless and just how to pay for it. California has the highest number of homeless people in the country.
Los Angeles is number 1 in cities that are worse for renters, that is. Forbes magazine released its annual list of worst places to rent, and the City of Angels topped it. There are many reasons. The average monthly rent for Angelinos is more than $2,100. Vacancy rates are also low. That allows landlords to raise the rents much faster. The next high rent cities following Los Angeles are San Francisco, Manhattan, San Diego, and Miami. 9 out of the 15 cities listed are in California.
Coming up, a different kind of seaweed washed ashore in Santa Barbara. What authorities are saying about this strange discovery.
We'll also give you a recap of Beyoncé's big performance at Coachella. And some who hope to go to the festival are now out of thousands of dollars. The scam next.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That would be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
I came to CSUN to learn. I came to CSUN to grow. I came to CSUN to prepare. I learned to question, to answer, to encourage. I grew as a mentor, an ally, an advocate. I left CSUN prepared to uplift and embolden, prepared to challenge and inspire, prepared to teach.
I'm Rebecca Milwaukee, and I'm a Matador.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
A San Jose home that sits gutted by fire is now selling for $800,000. The Silicon Valley home is called a charmer by sellers. The Santa Clara County Realtor Association says it won't be on the market for long. They say undamaged homes in the area typically go for more than $1 million. The association says the market is extremely competitive and housing inventory is at a historic low. There's only about 750 homes available on the market now. The burned out home is in a convenient location and in a hot housing market.
Governor Jerry Brown signed a legislation easing restrictions for using mobile homes. For 3 months, all regulations, including state zoning laws, won't be enforced. This move lets people who lost homes in the Thomas Fire and Montecito mudslides get quicker access to mobile homes. They also can put them directly on their property.
The Friends of the LA River hosted their annual LA River cleanup this past week. Valley View News reporter Noemi Salcedo says the event had hundreds of volunteers show up and fill bags up with trash. It was a dirty job, but enthusiasm and some live music helped.
Volunteers gathered to pick up trash at the LA River cleanup Saturday the 14th. The event was hosted by the Friends of the LA River, also known as FOLAR. Marissa Christensen, executive director at FOLAR, explained why keeping the river trash-free is important.
This is the river that is why the city of LA is where it is. It's why this area got settled.
People picked up trash items like plastic and aluminum at the Sepulveda Basin.
It's amazing. There's a lot to be done here.
First-time volunteers like Ernesto Cosillo were shocked at the amount of debris that was scattered throughout the river.
We may come back next year, or as often as we can.
Last year, 100 tons of trash was picked up from the whole river. Folar volunteer Nicole Jones expressed her happiness at being able to help clean the home of wildlife.
I got to see like little Peter Cottontail rabbits, like 4 of them, and I was like, okay, there's really animals that need to be preserved here, so I like that. Let's get the trash out of their home.
But with trash items such as couches, mattresses, and shopping carts, it seems as if the LA River isn't only a home to animals.
There is a homeless population that lives here, so they use the carts for transportation.
Carts and other bulky items were picked up by large trucks. Despite it being a day surrounded by trash, volunteers kept smiles as they pulled dirty items from the water.
It's helping the trees and the water so it won't be polluted.
There will be 2 more Folar River cleanups at various locations this month. In Van Nuys, I'm Noemi Salcedo for Valley View News.
A different kind of seaweed washed ashore on Santa Barbara's West Beach. Video captured by a local shows buds of marijuana washing up the shoreline. Santa Barbara's Harbor Patrol supervisor says they've been aware of the situation since March 31st. He says they don't know where the pot is coming from, but says smuggling is a possibility. The Harbor Patrol says other law enforcement agencies are also looking into the matter.
$700,000 worth of fake cosmetics was confiscated by the LAPD. The products contained high levels of bacteria and animal and human waste. Police raided 21 Santee Alley locations in LA Fashion District. The investigation started after some consumers complained to cosmetic companies. People claimed they were getting rashes from using the products. Some of the fake products carried brand names like MAC, NARS, and Urban Decay. 6 store owners in Santee Alley were arrested.
Coachella turned into Scamchella for some people. 50 people thought they bought tickets from a company called HTD Tix. They were charged $2,500 each for 3-day passes. The problem is, the passes were fakes. The company's website sold the tickets online and then told people where to pick them up. When festival goers went to get the tickets, they realized they were scammed out of hundreds of dollars. Calls to the company go straight to voicemail.
Speaking of Coachella, it was a crazy weekend in the Indio Desert and the Vegas Desert. Tori updates us with what's been happening.
Beyonce's Beehive was buzzing this weekend. Queen Bee made history as the first African-American woman to headline Coachella. This is the festival's 19th year. Weekend 1 of the 3-day music fest located in Indio, California, came to an epic end. The pop icon brought out Jay-Z and reunited Destiny's Child during her set. Let's just say the crowd was definitely jumpin'. Beyonce followed the weekend by announcing a $100,000 scholarship. The Homecoming Scholars Award program will grant $25,000 to students from Xavier, Wilberforce, Tuskegee, and Bethune-Cookman. Country's music's biggest stars returned to Las Vegas for the 2018 Academy of Country Music Awards, just 6 months after a gunman killed 58 people at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, the deadliest shooting in modern American history.
With respect and love for the victims, our friends, family, and fans, we celebrate the music tonight. America, this is your ACM Awards.
The show is known as Country Music's Party of the Year, but this year it was started with somber undertones as performers paid tribute to victims.
You can pretty lie and say it's okay. You can pretty smile and just walk away.
After the initial tribute at the start of the show, host Reba McEntire kept things light and positive. Kendrick Lamar swept the rap category at this year's Grammys, and now he has a Pulitzer Prize. He must be geeked and fired up. K-Dot's album Damn won the prestigious award, making it the first for a rap artist. The award is typically given to classical or jazz works. It's going to be kind of hard to stay humble with that. That's all your entertainment news. I'm Tori Isaac.
All right, thanks, Tori. Ahead on Valley View News, 2 SoCal teams compete for the Stanley Cup. Sports reporter Andrena Serrano gives us an update to how the Kings and the Ducks are doing.
And if you're tired of signing every time you use your credit card, you may be in luck. Some credit companies are doing away with requiring signatures. Find out if your card is involved.
Did you make the transfer to Hong Kong for the Emerson project?
I was just about to, but did you see the boss's email? It doesn't look right.
It looked fine to me.
I don't remember him mentioning the Emerson project at our last meeting.
The bank in Hong Kong closes in 15 minutes. Make the transfer.
Yes, sir. Money's on the way.
Mr. Jacobs, just transferred the money for the Emerson project.
What Emerson project?
Don't be that guy. Trust but verify.
I came to CSUN to learn. I came to CSUN to grow. I came to CSUN to prepare. I learned to ask, to analyze, to communicate. I grew as a writer, a thinker, a citizen. I left CSUN prepared to participate, prepared to contribute, prepared to lead.
Aloha, I'm Linda Lingle, and I'm a Matador.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
The Los Angeles Dodgers joined the rest of the MLB in marking the 71st anniversary of Jackie Robinson, breaking baseball's color line last Sunday. Pre-game ceremonies at Dodger Stadium included current and former members of the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Robinson played his entire Major League career with the Dodgers. He led them to 6 National League titles and 1 World Series championship. The reason Jackie Robinson Day is April 15th is because he made his MLB debut with the Dodgers on that date in 1947.
A 4th grader and Cubs fan in Chicago skipped school this week for the home opener, making a sign saying not to tell his principal. But things didn't go as planned for Tucker Speckman. He didn't expect Major League Baseball to rat him out, tweeting a photo of him with the caption, "We got you." His principal attended the same game, taking a photo with the boy. Tucker says he actually wanted his principal to see that they were there.
We thought it was funny, and I wasn't nervous because I know he's such a great principal that he wouldn't be mad or anything.
Looks like Tucker got off the hook this time.
The NBA and NHL playoffs are off to a wild start. Here's Andrena Serrano with the latest.
Thank you, Cameron. It's upset season in the playoffs. The NBA playoffs kicked off Saturday, and for the first time ever, there are no clear favorites. Saturday, the Pacers beat the Cavs 98-80. While the Pelicans beat the Trailblazers 97 to a close 95. As for the defending champions, the Warriors beat the Spurs 113 to 92. Noticeably absent were Steph Curry and Kawhi Leonard. Curry is recovering from an ankle injury. He sprained it coming down from a layup against the Spurs. Leonard is recovering from a quadricep injury. He's expected to miss the remainder of the postseason. On the ice, the new guys on the block have taken the lead. The Las Vegas Knights have become the 3rd team in history to take a 3-0 lead in their first playoff appearance. The Knights beat LA's own Kings in all 3 faceoffs, making their Stanley Cup victory unlikely. Though everyone previously wrote the Knights off, saying they were an assembly of NHL rejects, it seems the underdogs are going to take the win. Defending champs, the Penguins are leading 2-1, beating the Flyers 5-1 on Sunday. The Anaheim Ducks are also trailing 2-0 in their series against the San Jose Sharks. Rain or shine can't stop a woman's grind. Desiree Linden battled the weather and splashed her way to history at the Boston Marathon. Linden became the first American woman to win the race since 1985. She beat second-place finisher Sarah Sellers by a whopping 4 minutes. The 2-time Olympian, who was the runner-up in the 2011 marathon, finished the race in 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 54 seconds. Early in the race, Linden showed true sportsmanship when she hung back to wait for Shalane Flanagan. Flanagan, the winner of the New York Marathon, stopped to use the portable toilet. As for the men's elite division, taking first place was Japan's own Yuki Kawauchi. That's it for sports. I'm Andrena Serrano.
Thanks, Andrena. California's high-speed rail project will be audited because of high costs. The U.S. Department of Transportation will examine the $3.5 billion grant for the project. The audit will focus on the progress of the rail rather than the performance. A protest rally opposing the rail happened in Lakeview Terrace last Saturday. The rally was held because most residents can't go to the board meetings to discuss the projects. They're usually held in Sacramento. The completed railway is expected to cost an estimated $77 billion.
Some major credit card companies will no longer require signatures for transactions. American Express, MasterCard, and Visa started the practice last week. Experts say that signatures don't really prevent fraud. They say many cardholders don't take signing seriously. Some people don't sign their full name. Also, companies are updating their card security to prevent fraud. Most cards have a chip, which is more secure than traditional swiping. Some merchants will still require signatures because of their own credit card systems.
Be careful when you buy your next batch of eggs.
And a new study claims younger people have less cavities.
Here's Valley View News reporter Lauren Turner-Dunn. She has more.
Thanks, Corinne. Check your fridge. There's been a massive egg recall. Indiana-based Rose Acre Farms has recalled more than 200 million eggs over fears of salmonella contamination. The FDA says at least 22 people have gotten sick because of the eggs. They say anyone who bought them should throw them away or return them to where they were purchased. Salmonella can cause serious infections, especially in young children, the elderly, and those with weak immune systems. For more information, go to the FDA's website and check under recalls. A new CDC study says young people between the ages of 2 and 19 have fewer cavities. The number dropped from 50% in 2012 to just over 43% in 2016. The downside, young members of some minority communities continue to have the highest number of cavities. They also have the highest number of untreated cavities. The CDC says a child should visit the dentist for the first checkup by the time they turn 1. Dentists say to encourage good dental health, make sure children are brushing with the right tools and using good technique. You might remember once seeing people dumping buckets of ice on themselves on your social media feeds. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was inspired by Pat Quinn 3 years ago. ALS began to affect Quinn's muscle movements and speech, so he stepped away from the spotlight. But thanks to a device given to him by the ALS Association, he can speak through a computer by just using the motion of his eyes. Quinn says he'll start speaking to people.
I plan on getting back out there and speaking to people. I want to inspire people to live every day.
The computer uses Quinn's prior speeches and interviews to match his exact voice. It's estimated that 20,000 Americans currently live with ALS. That's all I have for social media, health, and tech. I'm Lauren Turner-Dunn. Back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. High school seniors will be hitting that graduation stage in about a month. But for some, being accepted to a college and then attending one is their next step in life. Some of the hardest schools to get into are the so-called Ivy League schools, 8 in all. Anna Rezick, a senior at a New Jersey high school, is the first student to be accepted into all 8 Ivy League colleges on full-ride scholarships.
It was very surprising and very surreal at the same time because I didn't actually think it was real.
Anna has a 5.63 GPA. She's taken a lot of advanced placement courses. Anna even scored 1570 out of 1600 on her SATs.
That's all for us at Valley View News. Thanks for watching. I'm Corinne Hafuda.
And I'm Cameron Parrish. For news any time of day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. We'll see you next week.